auspicious king, that there was a merchant of the merchants who had much wealth and business in various cities. Now on a day he mounted horse and went forth to recover moneys in certain towns, and the heat sore oppressed him. So he sat beneath the tree, and putting his hand into the saddlebags, took thence some broken bread and dried dates, and began to break his fast. When he had ended eating the dates, he threw away the stones with force, and lo, an Ifrit appeared, huge of stature, and brandishing a drawn sword, wherewith he approached the merchant and said, "Stand up, that I may slay thee, even as thou slewest my son." Asked the merchant, "How have I slain thy son?" And he answered, "When thou atest dates, and threwest away the stones, they struck my son full in the breast as he was walking by, so that he died forthwith." Quoth the merchant, "Verily from Allah we proceeded, and unto Allah we are returning. There is no majesty, and there is no might, save in Allah, the glorious, the great. If I slew thy son, I slew him by chance medley. I pray thee, now pardon me." Rejoined the genie, "There is no help, but I must slay thee." Then he seized him and dragged him along, and casting him to the earth, raised the sword to strike him. Whereupon the merchant wept and said, "I commit my case to Allah," and began repeating these couplets. "Containeth time twain of days, this of blessing, that of pain, and holdeth life twain of halves, this of pleasure, that of pain. Seest not when blows the hurricane, sweeping stark and striking strong? None save the forest giants feels the suffering of the strain. How many trees earth nourisheth of the dry and of the green, yet none but those which bear their fruits for cast of stone complain. Seest not how corpses rise and float on the surface of the tide, while pearls so prized lay hidden in the deepest of the main? In heaven are unnumbered the many of the stars, yet ne'er a star but sun and moon by eclipse is overtaken. Well judgest thou the days that saw thy faring sound and well, and countest not the pangs and pain whereof fate is ever vain. The nights have kept thee safe, and the safety brought thee pride, but bliss and blessings of the night are genderers of pain." When the merchant ceased repeating his verses, the genie said to him, "Cut thy word short. By Allah, needs must I slay thee." But the merchant spake him thus, "Know, O thou Ifrit, that I have debts due to me, and much wealth, and children, and a wife, and many pledges in hand. So permit me to go home and discharge to every claimant his claim, and I will come back to thee at the head of the new year. Allah be my testimony and surety that I will return to thee, and then thou mayest do with me as thou wilt, and Allah is witness to what I say." The genie took sure promise of him and let him go. So he returned to his own city, and transacted his business, and rendered to all men their dues. And after informing his wife and children of what had betided him, he appointed a guardian, and dwelt with them for a full year. Then he arose, and made the wuzu ablution to purify himself before death, and took his shroud under his arm, and bade farewell to his people. His neighbors and all his kith and kin went forth to spite his own nose. Then they began weeping and wailing and beating their breasts over him, but he traveled until he arrived at the same garden. And the day of his arrival was the head of the new year. As he sat weeping over what had befallen him, behold, a sheikh, a very ancient man, drew near, leading a chained gazelle. And he saluted that merchant, and wishing The second old man, after saluting them with the salam, also asked them of their tidings and said, "What causeth you to sit in this place, a dwelling of the Jan?" So they told him the tale from beginning to end, and their stay there had not lasted long before there came a third sheikh, and with him a she-mule of bright bay coat, and he saluted them and asked them why they were seated in that place. So they told him the story from first to last. And of no avail, O my master, is a twice told tale. There he sat down with them, and lo, a dust cloud advanced, and a mighty sand devil appeared amidmost of the waste. Presently the cloud opened, and behold, within it was that Jinni hinting in hand a drawn sword, while his eyes were shooting fire sparks of rage. He came up to them, and hailing away, the merchant from among them cried to him, "Arise, that I may slay thee, as thou slewest my son, the livestuff of my liver." The merchant wailed and wept, and the three old men began sighing and crying and weeping and wailing with their companion. Presently the first